Oh, Mom, there's nothing in there.
Medicaid provides medical health care coverage for people who are eligible because of low income and having a disability. Basic Medicaid coverage pays for health care such as doctor's visits, hospitalizations, and medications. It also pays for durable medical equipment like wheelchairs and communication devices. Importantly, for Medicaid-eligible children under age 21, Medicaid must provide all medically necessary services. These might include private duty nursing, personal care services, therapies, or psychological services. Medicaid is a major source of funding for long-term care institutions, nursing homes, and group homes. But Medicaid also funds services for individuals in the community as an alternative to facility care through so-called waiver programs. This video will provide information about some of the Medicaid waiver programs which provide services above and beyond basic Medicaid. Medicaid waivers provide a wide range of services and supports that are flexible, individually tailored, and cover more services than basic Medicaid alone. Services can be provided in a person's own home or in the community. Texas has 7 such waivers. Each of the 7 waiver programs has different eligibility criteria, but they share the common feature that the income eligibility criteria is based on an individual's income, not their family's income, and an individual can have income up to 3 times the SSI limit, or about $2,022 a month in 2009, and still qualify. Because the demand for Medicaid waivers exceeds the availability, individuals usually must sign up for an interest list and wait until a spot opens up for them. This video is one part of a package of informational tools. For information for the entire series, please visit the website of the Texas Council for Developmental Disabilities at www.txddc.state.tx.us. We're going to meet several individuals who receive services and supports from 4 of the most frequently used Texas Medicaid waiver programs provided through the Department of Aging and Disability Services. Each of the programs has its own eligibility criteria, and each has a different array of services. The individuals we'll meet will provide examples of the kinds of supports that each of the waivers provides. Detailed written information is available about specific eligibility criteria and the services, but the following stories might help you see how some of these programs work in terms of everyday lives. The CBA, or Community-Based Alternatives Waiver, is for adults who are eligible for a nursing facility. When Luis was 19 years old, he was in a car accident that left him in a coma. He was admitted to a nursing home where he remained for 2 years until his family learned about the CBA waiver and services and supports that would enable him to return home. Luis is totally dependent on others for all his needs. He needs to be tube-fed, requires frequent positioning, and occasional suctioning. The CBA waiver provides for regular nursing assessment and monitoring and training for his caregivers. It pays for personal assistance services which allow Luis's family members who have given up employment opportunities to be paid for providing his care. The waiver also paid for minor home modifications like widening doors and installing ramps. Luis is also eligible for Medicaid, which pays for his hospital bed, adapted wheelchair, medical supplies such as diapers, wipes, and pads, durable medical equipment for suctioning, pulse monitoring, and gastrostomy feeding, and specialized transportation. These supports allow Luis to be at home with his loving family. The CLASS, or Community Living Assistance and Support Services Waiver, is for children and adults who have a developmental disability such as autism, cerebral palsy, brain injury, or a related condition.
I'm taking advanced English and advanced science right now for those, and I have.
Jarvis Jr. is a bright, charming 14-year-old. He uses a wheelchair due to paralysis from injuries from a car accident at age 5. He needs assistance with transfers and personal care. When he was 13, Jarvis was admitted to a nursing home after being hospitalized because of complications from a skin breakdown. His family very much wanted to have him return home, but his family needed help with his specialized care. They learned about the Medically Dependent Children Program Waiver and the Class Waiver, both of which he was eligible for through a program that allows money being used for care in the nursing home to instead be used for care in the community. Jarvis's family elected the Class Waiver because it has no age limit, while the NDCP waiver ends at age 21.
He would be able to get medical care, nursing, basically whatever he needs for his situation, he will be able to obtain through this program.
Jarvis was able to return to his family home with supports from the Class Waiver and Medicaid. The Class Waiver pays for 45 hours a week of help with his personal needs, or habilitation as it's called in the Class Waiver. Jarvis also uses Medicaid to pay for certain services. When he first came home from the nursing home, Medicaid paid for 40 hours a week of in-home nursing for care related to his skin breakdown. Later, after hospitalization for surgery, Jarvis required in-home nursing again, but now he no longer needs it. Medicaid also paid for his wheelchair, a shower chair, a special mattress for his bed, and a cushion for his chair to prevent skin breakdowns. Jarvis and his family are looking to the future as he moves closer to adulthood. They are preparing for a time when he will move from home. Home modifications are available from the Class Waiver, but each person is limited to only using a certain amount in a lifetime. Because of this limit, the family is foregoing needed modifications now, so that Jarvis can have access to money for modifications when he is an adult.
I want to go to UT.
Jarvis is clear that he wants to go to college. He knows he will need personal assistance to help him live on his own, and will have the Class Waiver to cover it when he's ready. The HCS, or Home and Community-Based Services Waiver, is for children and adults with an intellectual disability with an IQ below 70, or related condition with an IQ below 75. Caitlin and Amira live with a support family who was chosen by their own families when they could no longer care for them. The living arrangement is possible through a service called Foster Companion in the HCS waiver. Caitlin is 8 years old. She has severe cognitive disabilities and is unable to walk or talk and needs assistance with all her personal care. When her parents were unable to care for her at home, Caitlin was placed in a large facility with 60 other individuals with disabilities, the only option her family could find. Later, when they learned Caitlin was eligible for the HCS waiver, they accepted it because it offered them a different option. They chose the family-based alternative from the HCS waiver service array called Foster Companion, which pays for the support family who now cares for Caitlin.
All of her therapy is provided, the equipment that she needs, and of course there are time frames. I think a wheelchair every 3 years or so, but it provides for them their growth.
The support family was recruited by a provider agency which is responsible for assuring they provide good care and have the support they need to do so. Caitlin's parents chose the support family she lives with, and they feel very comfortable with both her care and their relationship. The HCS waiver also pays for home modifications. As Caitlin grows, helping her get in and out of the bathtub is becoming more challenging in a small bathroom. Widening the doorway and changing from a bathtub to a roll-in shower will ease lifting for the support family, and a pedestal sink will allow Caitlin better access to help her be more independent.
But they're going to end up widening the door, putting in a roll-in shower, and then putting in a pedestal sink where I can roll in the girls and they can wash their hands.
Amira is 15 years old. She has cerebral palsy, intellectual disabilities, a seizure disorder, and scoliosis. She has a history of respiratory problems that resulted in frequent hospitalizations in the past. She needs assistance with all of her personal care. Amira lives with a support family chosen by her parents and provided through the HCS waiver. Medicaid pays for the durable medical equipment she needs, including a suction machine, a nebulizer for breathing treatments, and a medical device to provide chest percussion.
It's a vest, and it vibrates and it loosens up all the congestion.
In addition, she needs an adapted wheelchair, which is covered by Medicaid. When Amira becomes an adult, the HCS waiver will continue to provide for the support family, or will enable support for another community living arrangement if desired. The MDCP, or Medically Dependent Children Program, is for children under age 21 who meet nursing facility eligibility. Jonathan is an outgoing, happy 20-year-old who lives at home with his parents and 2 of his 6 brothers and sisters. Jonathan uses a wheelchair because of his cerebral palsy and relies on others for assistance with all of his personal care. Jonathan's family went for many years with no support in the home. They were unable to make modifications to the bathroom, the home, and to their vehicle, and were also unable to get any help with the constant medical and physical support that Jonathan needed. The family did not qualify for services through Medicaid. They learned about the MDCP waiver and placed Jonathan on the waiting list. After several years on the list, Jonathan's name finally came to the top. With the waiver, Jonathan also became eligible for Medicaid. The Medically Dependent Children Program provides respite delivered by a nurse or a personal attendant. The program also allows Jonathan to attend camp in the summer, where he was named King of the Dance. He used his waiver to pay for a van lift so he can go places with his family and to pay for modifications to his home. The doorway to the bathroom was widened so he could get in while using his wheelchair, and the shower was adapted so he can use a roll-in shower chair. In addition to the MDCP waiver, Jonathan also gets nursing and personal care services through Medicaid. All of these services make it possible for Jonathan to be fully included in his family and community.
We're extremely grateful for this program, and everywhere I turn I see families who are also share our gratitude for this program and for the class program, for HCS. They provide services that make it possible for these children to stay at home, and that's what we want. I mean, that is what families desire, is to keep our families together.
We hope this information has been useful. If you're interested in receiving the services of one of the Medicaid waiver programs for yourself or a family member, you will need to be sure the individual's name is placed on the interest list for that program by contacting the numbers that follow. You can also use the same numbers to call to learn where your family member's name is on the list. The different waivers have varying lengths of time before a waiver offer is made.